You know, everyone is always banging on about how terribly fragile international marriages are, how the cultural divide is just too vast, the difference is too great. Apparently, it is a minefield. Well, they have clearly never met my wife and me, because while the institutions of my home country, the ones that built an empire, mind you, are busy suffocating under a mountain of their own self-importance, we have spent 43 years of our married life thriving in the beautiful, chaotic, unapologetic heat of Thailand. The British Crown wobbly, the British Parliament a circus. My 43-year marriage still standing. So pull up a chair, grab a beer, and let me tell you why our bond is more durable than the crown jewels and a damn sight more comfortable. To understand this, you have to understand where I came from. London. Specifically London in the rain. Grey, predictable, miserable rain. It is a damp, polite misery, you see. A misery that seeps into your bones and your soul. You queue for everything, you apologise for everything, and you slowly accept that this is just it. Life in beige. Now, contrast that with Thailand and now Isaan. This morning, I was woken up not by the polite bleep of a lorry reversing, but by a rooster having a mental breakdown 2 feet from my ear, followed by the neighbour's water buffalo deciding my favourite mango tree was a scratching post. The sensory overload is relentless. It is bright, it is loud, it smells of grilled chicken and fangibani and the faint but ever-present whiff of the family compost heap. That is a fact right there, and is the first lesson. Britain has spent the last 40 years trying to make life more comfortable, more predictable. They have smoothed all the edges off. Besides, in doing so, they have stagnated. They have become a museum of themselves. A marriage, especially one like ours, cannot afford to stagnate. You cannot just set it and forget it like a bad rice cooker. It requires constant, uncomfortable evolution. You see, comfort is the enemy of longevity. In government, in empires, and in relationships. A government that is too comfortable stops listening. A spouse who is too comfortable stops trying. Here, we are never truly comfortable. The heat makes sure of that. However, that friction, that daily rub of two cultures, it keeps us awake. Now, let us dismantle another bit of nonsense right now, shall we? This paradise myth. People see a postcard of a Thai beach and think, oh lovely, I would just pop over there and find happiness. It is bollocks. Try finding happiness when the monsoon floods turn your dirt road into a river of red mud and you have to wait half a kilometre just to get a bag of ice for the evening gin. Try finding romance when the temperature hits over 40 degrees Celsius. It is the kind of heat which turns your brain to porridge. The air is thick enough to chew. You move from the shade of one tree to the shade of another like some sort of sluggish, sweating lizard. Not very conducive to grand romantic gestures, I can tell you. Everyone talks about love at first sight. Sweet but useless, utterly useless. What matters is patience during a power cut. Besides, again, we have had plenty of those. Sitting in the dark, fan dead, sweat dripping into your eyes with nothing but the sound of geckos, and nowadays the faint glow of your wife's mobile phone. In those moments, you cannot rely on a pretty smile. You have to rely on a shared sense of humour about the sheer absurdity of it all. Either you will laugh or you will cry. We choose to laugh, usually at me. Now, that brings me to the language. Not just the Thai language, which I still butcher with the confidence of a man ordering extra spicy when he really should not. I'm talking about the dialect we have built, the unique functional dialect of sarcasm meets pragmatism. My wife will look at my sweat-soaked shirt and say, "You look like a drowned rat." Then I will say, "Yes, dear, thank you for that vivid observation." She will nod, satisfied that she has correctly identified a truth. In England, that would be seen as a fight, a small battle in the endless war of saving face. Here, it is just fact. It is honest. The British obsession with saving face through bureaucracy is a sight to behold. All that paperwork, all those committees, all that careful performative politeness designed to avoid ever actually saying what you mean. Here's a house of cards. Here, rural grit wins the day. If the water pump breaks, and it did last week, you do not file a report, you fix it with some wire, a bit of hope, and possibly a piece of chewing gum. If we have a row, we have it loudly. Then it is done. No passive-aggressive notes left on the fridge, no sulking for a week, just noise. Then silence. Then she would bring me a cup of tea or say, "Come eat." Humour is our shock absorber. When the spirit house rituals baffles me, she laughs at my clumsy attempts to understand. When she is baffled by my need to mow the lawn in a perfectly straight line, I laugh at the absurdity of it. It is the grease which keeps the wheels from seizing up entirely. We live in the world of disposable everything. Disposable coffee cups, disposable relationships. If it gets hard, you throw it away and get a new one. It is the modern way. Besides, honestly, it is a lot like the crumbling stability of Whitehall these days. No one wants to do the hard work. They just want to reshuffle the deck chairs and hope for the best. People look at our marriage and see the friction of two different cultures and assume that is a weakness. They think, "Oh, it must be so hard." Nevertheless, it is. However, they miss the point entirely. That friction, that constant rubbing together of East and West, of pragmatism and sarcasm, of chaos and order, it does not wear us down. It polishes us. It creates a bond far stronger than the false, easy harmony of a monoculture. I have seen those couples back home, the ones who finish each other's sentences and agree on everything. Boring and brittle. The first real crisis will shatter them like a dropped teacup. Us? We have been through more crises than I have had hot dinners. We have been through family dramas on opposite sides of the world, financial scares, health scares, and a bloody pandemic in a foreign country. Every time the world expected us to give up, to throw in the towel, choosing to stay was not just a decision. It was an act of defiance, a two-fingered salute to the cynics and the quitters. We looked at the mess and said, "Right then, let us clean this up and have a cup of tea and carry on." So, what does our 43 years of making it work look like? It does not look like a fairy tale. It looks like us sitting on our porch watching the sunset over the rice paddies. The air is finally starting to cool. The geckos are staring or are starting their evening chorus. The red dust from the day's traffic has settled on the leaves of the mango and banana trees. It is not the picturesque landscape of a British romantic novel. It is a landscape of permanence. The rice will be planted, it will grow, it will be harvested, and it will be planted again. Empires are risen and fallen, and the sun sets over those paddies. Kingdoms have crumbled in Whitehall, and the water buffalo still scratches his backside on our mango tree. That is the legacy, not a name on a plaque or a statue in a square. It is a shared history etched into the lines of our faces. It is the silent understanding that passes between us when the distant motorcycle backfires and we both just look at each other and smirk. We are more permanent than any political empire. We are built on grit, on wit, and on total refusal to quit. So, the next time someone tells you that love has to be easy, that a relationship should not be this much work, or that two people have different worlds, or two people from different worlds cannot possibly make it, just send them my way. I will be here on my porch, sweating gently and laughing at the sheer, wonderful, chaotic mess of it all. If you have enjoyed this old man's ramblings, do me a favour and hit that like button. Furthermore, in the comments, tell me this. What is the most unromantic real-world moment which proved your relationship was built to last? A power cut? A flat tire in the rain? A truly catastrophic boiled egg? I would love to hear it. Now, if you would excuse me, the gin and tonics are not going to drink themselves, and my wife is giving me that look that says I have been talking too much again to the computer. Take care, thanks for listening, and goodbye.